What's going on, YouTube? Today's December 30th, 2023. Wow, I did not even plan to make a video tonight. I was just playing around looking at current gold and silver news online, and I came across this, and it's quite disturbing. 75 million, over at least $75 million in missing gold and silver bullion are being, the federal government's trying to find, supposedly. The empty vault's steel door stood ajar at the end of November beside the last unclaimed silver-proof coin set in piles to be sold at an auction. Around 2,100 customers stored gold or silver at First State in labeled boxes like a bank deposit box. Let's listen to that again, like a bank deposit box. I'm reading part of the article to you. I will attach the article in the link below. Many were retirees who had been persuaded to include precious metals in their IRA or 401k accounts. Persuaded, well, that's a smart move, to hold precious metals. For tax reasons, they needed to store the metals in a secure place away from home, which First State claimed to offer. Interesting. Most of these investors were elderly people, Campbell said. They were investing their savings. It's tragic. When I first saw the headline, I was worried that our good friend SW Metal had a portion of his stack stolen, but turns out that's not what it was. So thankful for that. Speaking of Sal, I'm going to attach a link to his video he recently did. He covered a story of some gold nuggets being stolen in the county that I work in, actually. And I swear, y'all, it wasn't me, okay? I didn't do it. Sal covers a lot of these stories, and if you look at, I don't know if it's becoming more common. I feel that it is, and that's a sign of the times. People might be increasingly worried about economics. I don't know if it's just that it's being reported more or if it's both. The truth usually lies in the middle, so it's probably both. But this seems to be a trend going on, and Sal covers a lot of these stories. He hasn't covered this one yet, so I'm hoping to beat him to the punch, which is really hard to do. That guy's all over it, but okay, let's look at this. Storing your metal off-site. A lot of people do it. I don't do it. I won't do it. I'll never do it. Simply put, a lot of people say if you don't hold it, you don't own it. We have that right in front of us here. Because it wasn't in their possession, it is now gone. Of course, and I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. I'm not a storage expert. I'm pretty smart, but do your own research, form your own opinions. I don't have a crystal ball either, unfortunately, and I don't have a time machine to go back and get extremely wealthy either, unfortunately. But there are pros and cons to using storage facilities. To me, a storage facility is like a financial advisor. Nobody is going to care about my money and my wealth more than me, which means I need to be smart in how I invest my fiat and how I secure my wealth. Because no one's going to take more of an interest in it than me, which means I have to be smart in how I do it. I have to learn as much as I can and make the best decisions possible for myself, to protect myself. I also, and I talk about this a lot, multi-layered security. If you have a dog, that's wonderful, especially, a larger dog that's going to intimidate somebody. If you always have someone in the house that can be trusted, that's another bonus. Implementing the two-way when you're home is a great idea, in my opinion. Again, this is just my opinion. You make your own decisions. Do what you're comfortable with. If you are going to do that, make sure that you're proficient with handling tools, and you got to make sure that you have what it takes to do what needs to be done in a situation, and that you have the knowledge to do it legally. A quality safe. A quality safe is paramount. You can even have a decoy safe. I do. You can hide your safe behind something, but it needs to be secured in. Don't just rely on a bunch of weight in it. It needs to be bolted as well. Cameras are great, especially if they will alert you to someone in your house, but cameras alone, in my opinion, simply aren't enough. I'm talking you need a real home security system, and you need the cameras to back it up. That's my opinion. A good lock on your door. Maybe nosy neighbors that don't know what you have but keep an eye on your place. That's always a plus. There's a lot of things you can do. Cutting the shrubs in front of your windows so that it doesn't provide cover for someone to make entry into your house. Things of that nature. Changing your routines a little bit in case someone's watching. A lot of times people will scope you out if they think that you have something of value, or just that you're an easy target, whatever the case may be. So it's always important to pay attention to what's going on, keep our heads on a swivel, protect our assets as much as possible. Nothing's going to be 100% of the time, but there's a lot of things you can do to significantly increase your odds. A lot of people do store off-site. I'm not one of those people. I can understand if someone has a significant amount of bullion, maybe storing, a small percent off-site for storage reasons, for space reasons. But I definitely, if it were me, if I was going to do that, which I don't think I would, I certainly would not store the majority of my wealth off-site. Because again, no one's going to care about or protect my money and my assets like me. No financial advisor is going to care as much as you care, or as much as I care. It's just the way it is. And I'm not here to hammer vaulting services. There are some really reputable ones out there, but all it takes is one scumbag that's dirty, to pull something like this off. I will attach a link to this article, and there's numerous different articles on this. It's not just one. A lot of them have, you must subscribe and pay money to read the article. So I'm going to attach one that's not, so that if you want to, you can read the article on it. But it's rather concerning. This seems to be a growing trend, and man, I tell you what, I don't want any of you to fall victims. Make sure that you're storing your stuff safe. Make sure you're safe, and your method of storage is securely fastened. Make sure, and I have home security stickers on my window, but I also have, anyone can get those. They might do some good, but I also have visible sensors on my windows that you can see from the outside. And another thing I have, and I watched an interview with a guy who was a career criminal, robbing homes and things like that. And he said the two things that deterred him the most was a dog of fair size. He said that was a deal breaker. And he said the other deal breaker was credentials with the city or county. And he went on to explain what he meant by that. And that was a visible alarm permit in the window. He would just bypass that situation. And I have a front window and a back window, and they both have visible, up-to-date credentials with an alarm permit. And I want people to see that, because I want them to pass me by. There's all kinds of things we can do, and it's really important that we do that, because you get one shot at this. When it's gone, most likely it's gone, or at least most of it's gone, or a portion of it's gone. Very few people probably get 100% of their stolen bullion back. I mean, that's just unicorns and dreams. So with that being said, Happy New Year, everybody. It's coming up quick. Let's crush 2024. I think it's going to be a hard year, but just because it's going to be a hard year and the world's messed up doesn't mean ours has to be. So let's make good decisions. Follow me on Rumble, link in the description below. Check out my man Sal. Check out this article. Hit the subscribe. Hit the like. Drop a comment so I know you're here. Have a wonderful New Year. Make good decisions, especially with driving, if y'all know what I mean. Let's not drive intoxicated. Let's pay attention to intoxicated drivers around us so they don't kill us and our families. And what's that other thing? I always forget. Oh, that's right. Keep stacking.